Our Valley Santa Clarita. We create success for your business. This program is brought to you by Desert Drug Pharmacy. Fast, friendly, and personalized. Visit Desert Drug Pharmacy today.
And welcome to Our Valley Santa Clarita. I'm Bill Miranda, and this is my lovely and very talented co-host, Setareh.
Thanks, Bill.
Setareh, what are you wearing?
Thanks for asking. I am really excited because I don't wear black a lot, but I found this beautiful black sleek dress that hugs me in all of the right places at Setareh. And I love it because they've got all these beautiful vintage dresses and jewelry that go well, belts, accessories, and the ladies that work there are so helpful. They help me put my outfits together. And that's why I always look ravishing.
You do. Slavishing and ravishing.
Slavishing and ravishing. Go check them out. They're on the top floor of the mall across from Macy's.
From Macy's.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
What does the name Setareh mean?
Oh, well, it means star.
Star?
Yeah, superstar. No, I'm just kidding. It does mean star in Farsi, and I remember asking my parents, well, how'd you come up with that name? You know, they said it took them a while to think of the name. It's actually pretty tough, and they said it's important what you name someone or anything, because then that thing or person kind of gets influenced by the name, or sometimes they become that. So I don't know if I'm a star, but...
You are a star.
Oh, you're sweet.
And the reason I asked the question is because Shady is going to help us name our businesses.
Let's see what she's got.
Welcome to Shady Business. I'm Shady, here to teach you tips and tricks to bring success to your business. Today we are starting from step 1, which is naming your business. Sounds simple, right? Well, if you've ever named a business or anyone or a pet like your Chihuahua Mangos, you know it actually isn't as simple as it sounds. But if you're starting a company fresh out of the tamale oven, we're gonna get you some guidelines to create an effective name to bring more clients to your business. First, we're gonna start off by brain tornadoing. Brainstorming? Brainstorming, that's right. Take a look at the previous Shady segments where we created your mission statement. This is gonna list off the things that are unique, the things that are niches and special about your company. Another thing to think about is, what do you want your name to communicate? The more the name communicates, the less explaining you gotta do. Pretty good, no? Something to keep in mind is, as specific as you should be, you gotta be along that line of not being too specific. For example, if you put Our Valley, Santa Clarita, then maybe one day you're not going to be able to expand larger. So if the company name is Our Valley, make sure the Santa Clarita stays on the side, because maybe you want to reach the world. Something to think about is also, what are the words that are going to appeal the customers you're trying to attract? Also, what are words that can also bring up some emotional connection? Now that I've asked you some questions and you're letting it all dance in your mind, I'm gonna let you think about that for a while. But when we come back, I'm gonna help you put those thoughts into that business name, how to also think out of the box, and what to do once you have a list of business names. Only here on Shady Business when we come back.
You know, the more to the point your name is, the less you have to explain.
Yeah, it's like if you have some like random company name, it's like, so what do you do? And then you have to tell them. So that way you just get to the point. But speaking of names, you know what name I keep hearing all over the news? Abby Across America. Her mission is to find job seekers and educate them all across the U.S. and reach 1 million people to educate them. Isn't that amazing?
That is
and we're
absolutely.
so lucky because we've got her coming up next, revealing secrets that job recruiters would never tell you. When we come back, Abby Kohut.
Hi, I am Cesar Milan with Junior. In Santa Clarita, we love our dogs, and in our role as pack leaders, it is important that we do everything to keep our pets safe and healthy. This is why it is so important to license your dog through Los Angeles County Animal Control. Licensing your dog will make it possible for them to be returned to you in case they get lost or stolen. You will also get important reminders when your dogs are due for vaccination. Show your dog you care and license them today.
Welcome back to our Valley Santa Clarita, what we have all been waiting for weeks and weeks. Abby Kohut, the president of Staffing Symphony, is a recruiter who has offered jobs to approximately 10,000 people during her 18-year human resources career. She's known as Absolutely Abby because she tells the absolute truth, which other recruiters typically won't share with you. Abby has received accolades from Forbes for being one of the top 100 websites for your career, and from Fast Company magazine for being one of the top 100 influential people online. And she's also been rated as one of the top 25 women for your job search on Twitter by CEO World magazine, and as one of the top 10 Twitter accounts every job seeker should follow by Business News Daily. She's just the top of everything.
Welcome, Abby.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for
having
being here.
me.
Welcome. Now, I have to ask you a question right off the bat.
Go ahead.
Why do they call you Absolutely Abby?
Well, I was a recruiter, as you just said, for a long time. And as a recruiter, I'm not able to tell the absolute truth to people. So I realized I wanted to create a brand where I could teach people the absolute truth. And I named myself Absolutely Abby, because that's what I do. I tell the absolute truth.
Because when people interview,
Yes.
you have to have your professional hat on.
Yes.
And you have to be
Yes.
careful what you say and what you don't say.
Yes.
But
And
now that you're a consultant,
Right.
you say whatever you want.
Right, because as a recruiter, I had to tell them we found a better qualified candidate.
Yeah.
So I gave them these nebulous answers, but I couldn't tell them specifically what they messed up on.
That also sounds like when you apply for colleges and the response you get when you don't get in. Not that I didn't get in where I wanted to go, okay, guys?
Of course not.
But she didn't. But that's another story. But what I will tell you is she passed our interview here at our Valley Santa Clarita. We interviewed a lot of people,
I'll bet.
and she was the winner.
Well, she's fabulous.
Aw,
Yes,
no
she
wonder.
Yes, she is.
No wonder.
So, but the problem I had, maybe you could have helped me with it had we known each other then,
Yes.
is how do you tell the ones that didn't win
Yeah.
what they didn't do?
Well, in HR, we're cautioned against telling people from the legal department. And so we kind of have to keep it under wraps. So I wouldn't have been able to tell you what to do because I know you're not supposed to tell people what.
Right.
You know, you're just not
So
supposed
then
to do that.
why did you start your own business? Is that the reason why?
Yeah, I was really sick and tired of this persona where I couldn't tell people the absolute truth, and I wanted them to know. And the only way to get this out is to become a speaker and to just take it on. And I took it on in a big way.
Yeah.
So I love what I'm doing, and it's far more exciting to me every day than being a recruiter.
Now, she's on a mission. She is in an RV going across the country, and her mission is to reach 1 million people
That's
to
right.
tell them the truth
That's it.
and help them so that they can get jobs. And,
That's it.
well, as a mentor, have you ever had a coach or mentor to help you?
Oh my goodness. Not only a coach or mentor, I've had multiple ones. So I currently have one, and I've had others along the way, and each one came to me at a certain point in my business career at the right time. And when they came at the right time, I hired them, I invested in myself, and I made sure that I had the tools that I needed in order to get to the next level. So I was doing well, but then I wanted to get higher. And so every time I hired someone, I got to the next level. And now I'm very happy with where I am, but there's still more room to grow, and so I'm sure I'll find other people along the way.
Abby, it's very important for people looking for work to succeed in that job interview. What are the keys? What do we need to know?
How can they stand out?
Well, I'll tell you what. One of the things that they need to know is they're in sales and marketing, right? When you're an interviewer, candidate, you're in sales and marketing.
Whether you're interviewing for a sales marketing position or not, even
That's
for
right.
a technical position.
Yeah.
Yes, marketing is your resume and your cover letter, and maybe your website, your LinkedIn profile, those kinds of things. But your sales is your interview. And no one's going to sell you if you don't sell yourself. So you have to learn how to promote yourself, how to talk about your strengths, how to talk about even your weaknesses, even in a positive way. You have to be able to talk about all the things that the client needs to know so that you can get that job. And you have to be able to sell yourself and have passion. Oh my goodness, very few people have passion. They just come in and they act as if they only need a job. And this is one of the things that I teach them is I need you to fake it. Like you need on the interview, you have to believe that you're here for the right job. Like that is special job.
And Abby, I've interviewed thousands of people in my long career. One of the things that absolutely drives me crazy is when the person sitting in front of me has not done any research on my company.
Yes, I would agree.
How do you?
I would agree.
How do you help people not to be in that position?
I teach them to get on LinkedIn and to research, research, research. They need to know all about their interviewers. They need to know about the people that work at the company. They need to know about the people that used to work at the company. They need to go on the website. They need to memorize key facts.
They need to live it, right? They
Yes.
need to be as though they've already got the job. I remember
Yes.
watching something that you did, and it stuck in my mind because you said, you need to wear your business suit even when you go to the grocery store.
That is one idea that I have, and it's about being, I call it the never-ending interview, because you never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah.
But when you go in an actual interview, wear the color of the company logo. Isn't that cool?
Ooh, that's a good
That is very
tip.
good.
Because it's subconscious.
Yeah.
And they see it and they think, oh, she's already part of the team.
Yeah.
So that's just a little tip, one of the many little
Yeah.
tips that I give out.
I want to go back to wearing the suit
Yeah.
when you go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
Or wearing whatever business attire is.
Sure.
You never know when you're going to be seen, and I get that and I understand that.
The
Yeah.
paparazzi is always around. so.
Absolutely.
I'm just kidding.
But when you're online,
Yep.
you're also going to be seen.
That's true.
Help us with that.
People will put up pictures of themselves looking like SpongeBob SquarePants on Halloween,
That's probably me.
swinging on a chandelier with a drink in their hand,
Oh, no.
cursing. Bad idea. Yeah. Bad idea. So you want to make sure those pictures are something that you would want your mother, your priest, and your new employer to see. If they're not,
Yeah,
take them
because
down.
you're
Take
going to
them
be
down.
wearing the name of that company on your shoulder at all times.
Exactly. So you have to be very careful with what you say. Also, don't be tweeting things that you don't want people to know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't be negative. Watch things like,
I hate my job. I hate my
yes,
boss.
yes, but like sports, religion, and politics, very careful.
Keep
you have to
away.
be very careful. Yeah.
You're so exciting. I want to talk to you some more, but we're going to
All
take a
right.
little break, okay?
Let's do it.
When we come back, Abby will help us with turning our passion into money. Can't wait.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Welcome back to our Valley, Santa Clarita. We're here with nationally renowned author, absolutely Abby 101, Job Search Secrets. Abby
Kohut.
Kohut.
That's Abby's 101 job search secrets.
Yes, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of secrets.
Yes.
So let's get to it again because there's so many things that I want to know. If a job seeker...
Are you looking for a job?
We're always looking for a job, okay? Oh. If a job seeker keeps getting rejected, how can they find out why? Is it possible to find out why?
Not really. So
Okay.
it's not, like you can call the person who interviewed you and you can ask them, but if they're smart, they're not going to tell you.
Oh,
In other words,
no.
if they're a trained person, a trained HR professional or trained hiring manager from the HR and legal department, they're not going to tell you.
They can't for legal reasons.
No, but
right?
you could certainly meet with a coach, and a coach can help you with that. I do that for people. I do mock interviews
Yeah.
to help give people those answers, because I can tell them probably, I can't tell them exactly, but I could at least tell them what I think it is.
This is so important. It's like a skill set that we should learn in school. Nobody tells you about how to answer these questions. And not that you're lying when you're trying to sell yourself. It's just knowing how to move the question into something positive about yourself and highlighting all the features about you, right?
Yeah, you have to figure out what's really good about you, what your strengths are, and find a way to tell the interviewer about them despite the question without annoying the interviewer. That's the thing.
I mean, I've done a lot of beauty pageants, and the hardest part is always the interview section. There's an interview, and then there's a pop question. And sometimes you get a question like you said, what's your greatest weakness? They're the typical questions that you would get in any interview, and knowing how to answer that so that it still looks positive. That can get really tricky.
It's very tricky. I wrote a second book, and it's called The Top 12 Interview Questions Exposed. And I expose the top 12 questions that are always asked by HR professionals.
Can you share one with us?
Well, the weakness. You want to do the weakness
Yeah.
question? All right, so if someone says, what's your greatest weakness?
What is your greatest weakness?
There you go. See, someone said it. So what I would say is one of my greatest weaknesses sounds like a strength, but I am a bit of a perfectionist. And so what happens is I don't like to finish things because I keep editing and fixing, and it goes on forever. So if you give me a project, Miss Hiring Manager, do me a favor and give me a deadline. And if you give me a deadline, I will absolutely beat the deadline and I will impress you. But I need that deadline. And if you forget to give me a deadline, I'm going to impose my own deadline because I understand that this is one of my weaknesses.
So this makes them feel like you're able to be managed, yet you're also independent.
And then I know myself, and that I'm honest, and I'm not saying, oh, I don't have any weaknesses. People that say I don't have any weaknesses,
that's false.
Or people that don't know what they are, that doesn't work.
So you got to do homework on yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
That was good. Can we do another one?
Yes. Can we do Tell Me About Yourself?
Tell me about yourself.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm so glad you asked. So my name is Abby Kohut, and I've been a recruiter. I've hired about 10,000 people over the last 18 years in a variety of industries. One of my greatest accomplishments is when I hired 900 teachers for Kaplan, the test prep company, in 4 months.
Wow.
Would you like to hear more about that?
Yes.
See, that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And if you said, no, I really want to know about something else, then I would tell you about the something else.
Right. Okay. So if you are developing your own business, what would you suggest to someone to get more clients?
Well, I would go, it's funny, because you're from the Chamber of Commerce, I would go to the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
That's exactly where I would go. Because there are small businesses at the Chamber, and they need your help. And they can't necessarily afford you as a full-time employee yet, but they can hire you at least as a consultant, and you could have 5 clients a week, and you have a full-time job.
Wow.
Or I would
then you're just meeting a lot of people.
Yeah, of course. And
networking.
Then the other thing is to go to your local association. So I'm in HR, so if I wanted to be an HR consultant, I would go to an HR association and hobnob with the VPs of HR.
Find your people.
Find your people.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. That's how I would do it.
So you've written 2 books?
Yes.
How easy is it to write a book?
You know, I want to make it sound like it's so hard. It's not.
Really?
It's really not.
I want to write a book so bad, but I'm like, oh, it must take so much time and your life and your blood.
No, there are ways nowadays to get it done and to self-publish. You can get a publisher, of course, but there are ways to self-publish. But then you have to promote it. So writing the book is not it's
the marketing.
Yes, it's the marketing. Because once you have a book, who are you going to sell it to? So you have to be able to get out there. You have to be a speaker. You might have to be a coach or a consultant. So there's a lot of pieces to it. Writing the book is not so hard, but I can teach people how to do that as well.
I love it.
You want to write a book?
I'm going to do it. She just inspired me to do it.
There you go.
It is all about selling
I'm going to tell you right now, you will not have my permission to put my name in your book.
Why? So, go ahead.
I love the fact that people can go to you, or people like you, and practice interviewing.
Yes.
That is so important.
Yes, it's vital, because the thing is, you don't know what you're doing wrong because no one's telling you. And I can sit there and say, okay, do this, don't do that. Let's do the weakness question again. Let's say it this way. Oh, you got fired? Okay, no worries.
Practice makes perfect.
Let's fix how you're going to talk about that, so you have lots of confidence. Because that's what it's all about. You can be fired, you can have all kinds of blemishes on your resume. As long as you didn't murder anybody, come talk to me. I'll be good.
And there are a lot of little things a lot of people just aren't aware of. And you mentioned some of them. What do you wear? Okay, what do you wear to the interview?
Body language.
Yes, body language. Tell us about that.
So if you sit in the interview like this,
you're not interested in
not so good, right?
You're like angry and no one likes you.
Or you're like swiveling. This is not a swivel chair,
you're unfocused.
But you could be swiveling or like looking like this.
Wow.
I mean,
we're gonna have
like
to train people at tying them and saying.
Yeah, I mean,
or
it's
the hands,
right? Or this, playing with your hair. So yeah.
So what advice would you like to leave with our viewers, if there's anything you'd like to say?
I have a new mantra this year, and it's called Eventually Is Now.
Ooh.
And it's about job seekers taking their life into their own hands. A job may have gone away, right? So a door closed, but you have to do something now to affect your life going forward.
No day but today.
This is it. Like, why wait?
Yeah.
And so let's take control and maybe start a business. If the job market says no, start a business. You don't need a job, you need a business. Something,
I love that
right?
idea.
So I got to write my book now, ASAP.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And how can people reach you or find out where you're going next and where you're consulting or giving your speeches?
Sure. Well, a couple of things. One is I have a website called meetabby.com. So it's meetabby.com. And if you go there, you'll actually get a teleseminar that I recorded on how to interview.
Nice.
So go there. And then my main website is absolutelyabby.com. You can always go there and find a bunch of tips on a lot of things.
Love it. Thank you so much for being here today. I think a lot of our viewers learned a lot. Make sure to follow her. She might be doing some stuff here around SCV.
I think she will be.
So keep an eye out for that through the chamber. And when we come back, more Shady Business. We got lots of teachers.
Yes, we do.
Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll see you when we get back.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. The pressure's too much. I quit. I get it. I can do better. Just please, don't leave.
Don't let your heart quit on you. Get your uncontrolled high blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back to our Valley, Santa Clarita. Well, we have had an excellent teacher today.
Yes, we did.
When it comes to business tricks and
tips.
That's right. But now we get our very own Shady.
Shady Business and our topic of naming your business.
Welcome back to Shady Business. Today we have been talking about how to create an effective business name. Now that you have your list and you let it marinate a little bit, let's get creative. Number one is word segment. Now don't worry, because a lot of words and names that you might want to use are trademarks, because we can think of something original. An example is, have you heard of the brand Acura? Well, let me tell you that Acu, the first part part of the word means precise in many different languages. Now, they picked out a name that's quite original by using word segments, and you can use them too. Number 2 is test your name. Although this might sound like something you don't want to do, it's quite important and it'll help narrow down your list. Call an attorney that specializes in trademarking. This way you don't get into some legal issues in the future with people that have the same name. You can also try a trademarking firm. It may be less expensive, but still gets the job done. Pretty good, eh? Number 3 is go back to the questions. Do you remember all those questions I gave you in the first part to try to get you marinating on some names? Well, go back and this time with your list of names, ask yourself again if it reaches the objective of your business, if it best describes what you are all about. And finally, read your name out loud. This way, if you're on TV or on the radio or getting presented out loud somehow, you can see if it sounds glamorous just like you want it to. Kind of like shady business, eh? Sounds pretty good, no? Well, I know that if you followed all my questions, you're gonna reach an effective business name. But don't forget, at the end of the day, the name doesn't matter as much as the service and the products that you provide. So whatever name you make, I know that you will create a great brand by what products you have shared with the world. Well, I'll see you next time here on Shady Business.
Naming your business. Shady, she's awesome.
I love what she's got to say.
Absolutely. You know, we do tips and tricks with Shady every show. So if you want to learn about tips and tricks to your business, tune in.
As well as looking up Abby Kohut and her tips and tricks.
Absolutely.
She's going to be around town during this time, so keep an eye out for that so you can learn on how to take over in the room when you go networking.
Absolutely.
Or just relationship building.
Yeah.
It's all about relationships.
And speaking of relationships and taking over,
yeah.
Next week, Agustin Prieto Castillo.
Whoa, exotic.
Whoa, is going to show us how to decorate your cake.
Professionally.
Yes.
Only here on Our Valley Santa Clarita, where mi casa es
su casa.
Our Valley Santa Clarita. We create success for your business. This program is brought to you by Desert Drug Pharmacy. Fast, friendly, and personalized. Visit us today at Desert Drug Pharmacy.